Breaking in cowboy boots can be a serious pain, but there's 3 methods that I've found that can break in your boots faster that I want to talk about in this video. So let's get into it.
I'm just here to connect ya, and then I'll be on my way.
Hey everybody, my name is Jeremiah Craig. Welcome back to the channel. And when it comes to cowboy boot break-in, I hear a lot of folks say that the break-in process is really painful. And I want to say from the get-go here that breaking in cowboy boots should not be painful for the most part. If you're dealing with a leather like elephant, maybe that could be a little bit more difficult than, of course, other leathers. But for the most part, a cowboy boot should feel good from the moment that you get them. Of course, it will continue to get better and better as you break in the boots, but it should not be painful. It's a misconception to think that breaking in a pair of cowboy boots should be painful. If you're breaking in a new pair all the time, you might want to figure out, a favorite pair of socks that works really well. And I like Thorlo socks, which I believe I have right here because I wanted to make a video about them. Yep. So my favorite is the 12-hour work shift sock. It has a little bit extra padding in it. And since I'm breaking in boots all the time, it's nice to have a little bit extra padding. But for the most part, I don't really need it because I wear boots that are my proper size. Still, there are some situations where you might want to break in a boot pretty quickly. And I found 3 methods that really work. So let's talk about the first one, and it's conditioning the boots every day you wear them for about 2 weeks. So you can take Bic 4, this is my favorite one because it works on so many different leathers, and you can condition pretty much any smooth leather. If you're thinking about maybe an elephant leather, that is definitely going to be a bonus. If you condition them every day, wear them for like 2 weeks, conditioning them every day, it should help make that process a little bit easier. But you can't really condition all types of leathers every single day. It's a little bit more of a time-consuming process like suedes and roughouts. You should not use Bic 4 on suedes and roughouts. This is only for smooth leathers. And the suede roughout cleaning and conditioning process is a little bit more involved with sprays. You should do it outside or in a well-ventilated area because that is pretty powerful stuff, and it kind of takes a long time. So it's not as practical to try to condition a suede or roughout boot every day when you're breaking them in. So another thing that I've found is mink oil really helps to soften up leathers. I like to use it on work boots that I'm trying to break in. A difficult boot to break in general is the Red Wing Pecos, just because of the outsole here. It is a pretty durable rubber outsole. So to have a more soft leather in the foot really makes that process a little bit more enjoyable. So mink oil really softens up leather very, very well. It's not a favorite of a lot of leather boot enthusiasts out there. Some folks will say that it kind of clogs the pores of leather, doesn't make it breathe as well, and it also darkens leather. It really darkens leather quite a bit. So I would recommend that if you're going to use mink oil on a pair of boots, that they should already be kind of dark, or maybe you don't care. They will make boots darker. Mink oil definitely does that, but it softens up the leather like crazy. So that is a really good option. Other than that, though, if you have a smooth leather boot, condition them every day. Bic 4 does not change the color of leather. Condition them every day as you're wearing them to break them in, and Bic 4 won't hurt them. When we were making boots out in Dillon, Montana, we'd condition the leather pieces several times a day with Bic 4. So you literally can Bic 4 as much as you want, and it really does help break the leather in. Another method to help break in cowboy boots, if you have a tight spot someplace, maybe it is a small size and you kind of want to just get over the process, because you can break in a pair of boots that are too small for you, and it can be painful. I always recommend people get their actual true size and have it be snug at the widest part of the foot, snug at the instep with a little bit of heel slip. That is the proper fit for a cowboy boot. But if you end up getting a poorly fitting pair and it's too tight at the widest part of the foot or too tight at the instep, something that can help break leather in and stretch a little bit easier is a 50-50 mix of isopropyl alcohol and water. Mix isopropyl alcohol and water together, and then take a little bit of a rag or something else to soak it up, and then put it in the tight spot and wear them dry. You might have to repeat several times, but when you take your boots to get stretched at a cobbler, they're basically using a 50-50 solution of isopropyl alcohol and water. That's the same thing that, for the most part, you're getting when you get stretch spray from Bickmore or Scout or something like that. It's pretty much just isopropyl alcohol and water, and it works great. It does a good job, and if you're buying used boots, it can also disinfect the inside of a boot as well, which I've done videos on. I always want to recommend, though, that you get the right fit before you do something like that. You shouldn't be feeling like you have to do it on a regular basis, because you just need the proper fit first and foremost. If there's this tight spot someplace, I mean, people have high insteps, and I think that that's probably the most area that you're going to need it for a proper fitting cowboy boot. If a boot is too tight at the widest part of the foot, you need to size up a little bit or try a different width, a different size in general. I could see it being used mostly at the instep, since insteps vary between person to person. So definitely not something that you want to do on a regular basis, but if you're in a pinch, pun not intended until I said it, if you're in a pinch and you need to stretch out a boot, maybe break it in a little bit faster in certain areas, isopropyl alcohol 50-50 solution with water can do the trick for you. And the third method that I have for you guys to break in boots faster is work in them. Guys, if you get a pair of boots and you're just walking around the grocery store with them or around the block to try to break them in, it's going to take a lot longer than if you were to do your barn chores in these boots. If you were to do a project around the house, maybe help your friend build a deck, build a fence, do something in your boots, and they will break in much more quickly. Maybe the weather's bad. Maybe it's raining, or it's snowing, or it's muddy. These are things that help the boot break in a lot faster. Now you may be saying, Jeremiah, haven't I heard you say that you shouldn't soak boots in the past? Why are you saying now that it's good to wear the boots when it's raining? Well, if you are subjecting the boots to wetter conditions, but not soaking the boots, that helps the boot break in areas where soaking the boot and completely saturating the boot could hurt it. A lot of these new boots are made so well and they're so tight that many of them, if you wear them brand new working, are almost waterproof. As you continue to break in the boots, they will become more loose. Some of the stitching holes will become a little bit more perforated, and they could become a little bit more soakable, not as waterproof as they were when you first got them. But some of these boots are made so well and so tight that water is not going to get in them and make your feet wet, but it is going to help make the leather on the outside a little bit more soft and a little bit more easier to break in. So I'm telling you guys, if you work in your boots, if you sweat in your boots, if you do hard labor in your boots, they will break in much, much faster than if you were to just walk around the block or, go get groceries in them. You want your boots broken in fast? Do some work in them. But as I always say, first and foremost, make sure you have your proper size. The proper fit goes a long way to making the break-in process a much more enjoyable one than what a lot of folks have come to experience in the cowboy boot world. A lot of folks say breaking cowboy boots is such a pain. It doesn't have to be if you get your right size. So that's why I'm saying hold your boot companies to a higher standard, get your feet measured, and boot up for the proper size. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your break-in methods are in the comments. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Yeah, the best way to break your boots in faster is to work in them all day long. Enthusiastic, much more long-lasting, keeps a passion going strong. Thanks for watching today. Why don't you check out one of my extended test reviews where those boots broke in really fast? Or I got a music video down here I think you might enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe up here, and I will see you next time. Peace. Have a good one.